It was a good setting for the tone of the message, a Diwali celebration in the Oval Office with members of the Indian diaspora in attendance and some from Trump's own administration who are Hindus like Tulsi Gabbard and Kash Patel. Things have been rather tense between the two nations as Trump has dumped massive tariffs on India for buying Russian oil, and he brought that up again. Only this time, the tone was different, and he warmly talked about his phone conversation with Prime Minister Modi.
I love the people of India, and we're working on some great deals between our countries. I spoke to Prime Minister Modi today, as I mentioned before, and we just have a very good relationship. And he's not going to buy much oil from Russia. He wants to see that war end as much as I do. He wants to see the war end with Russia, Ukraine. And as you know, they're not going to be buying too much oil. So they've cut it way back, and they're continuing to cut it way back.
Trump has framed the bilateral relationship from a distinctly personal lens, often talking about his friendship with PM Modi over the years. What Trump said also serves as a definitive marker for the direction of ongoing trade talks and key geopolitical alignments. Trump confirmed that the two nations are actively working on some great deals between our countries, like he said. And he did so while wishing people a very happy Diwali, perhaps his way of seemingly trying to repair some of the perceived damage to his high approval ratings in India that had been hit by his previous tariff tantrums. The revelation confirmed that despite past trade friction, both sides were pressing ahead with direct talks on trade and tariffs, signaling an intent to move the commercial relationship forward. According to a report in the Mint, India and the US are on their way to agreeing to a trade deal that could see tariffs drop to levels of 15 to 16%. Mint also said that there was a possibility of some concessions in the field of agriculture with non-genetically modified produce like corn and soybeans. Mint also reports that the deal could see India scaling back on some of its Russian oil imports. While Prime Minister Modi confirmed the phone call, the message he posted on X gives no other details of what was discussed. All he said was, "Thank you, President Trump, for your phone call and warm Diwali greetings." Initially, Trump had used stronger language, claiming earlier that India would enact a big stop on buying Russian oil. However, his subsequent remarks at this Diwali event provided some wiggle room for both leaders, confirming that Modi wants to see the war end as much as Trump does. But, as with all things Trump, one war quickly changes into talks of another, like he did here.
Although we did talk a little while ago about let's have no wars with Pakistan, and I think the fact that trade was involved, I was able to talk about that. And we have no war with Pakistan and India, and that was a very, very good thing. But he's a great person, and he's become a great friend of mine over the years. In a few moments, we'll light the diya as a symbol of faith in the victory of light over darkness. It's a beautiful term, light over darkness. That's what it's all about.
Trump's unexpected disclosure that he and Modi had discussed the tense relationship between India and Pakistan will naturally create a point of sensitivity, as New Delhi traditionally prefers to deal with Islamabad exclusively on a bilateral basis. And India has said this multiple times on multiple fora and multiple platforms too. India has historically maintained a clear policy regarding terror attacks emanating from Pakistan, emphasizing that Islamabad cannot inflict terror attacks on India while hiding under a nuclear umbrella. And so Trump's disclosure touches upon a highly sensitive issue that India prefers to keep confined to bilateral channels, rather than allowing external mediation or public commentary. Can this phone call be the momentum needed to advance a trade deal? And a potential meeting between Trump and Modi on the sidelines of the upcoming ASEAN summit in Malaysia, where Trump was scheduled to head over the weekend? Well, that depends on whether two leaders had something genuinely substantive on hand to discuss. The goal was to move beyond the mere optics, handshakes, and hugs, suggesting the focus remained heavily on finalizing the great deals and concrete outcomes concerning trade and tariffs that had been referenced in the phone call. For more such stories, subscribe to SNG News, hit the like button, and follow for more news updates.